Imagine just sitting here watching that. Jesus. I was just like, whoa.
Oh my God. I just want this to stop, please, Jesus.
I saw the fire engines going. My husband was actually home, so he looked out the door and I'm like, close the door. And he looks down the street and he sees smoke. So I go run to get my portable oxygen concentrator, my inhalers, and I'm ready to go.
After getting my mom down the steps into the car safely, I don't have time to get her wheelchair. You don't have time to get those things. I don't have time to grab my machine. I keep my asthma pump with me, but I didn't have time to do any of that. And I just wanted to drive away from the fire.
The fire at EMR's scrap metal shredding facility in Camden, New Jersey blazed on for 9 hours. It sent hazardous levels of air pollution over the Waterfront South neighborhood. About 100 residents evacuated their homes.
When I got to the hotel, in that fresh air, I threw up, I couldn't eat, and literally laid down like, okay, this is all over me, I'm sweating.
It went from just having like a little cough to literally not being able to speak for, I want to say, almost about 2 weeks.
We spoke to several residents who are worried about the long-term impacts to their health.
After the fire and my discharge at the Hilton, I went immediately to West Jersey Hospital because it's now been 2 or 3 days without my machines and I am going through it. This is a total of my meds. As you can see, I keep that on top where I can just grab it and go in case of another fire. I couldn't control my anxiety. I couldn't control the night terrors. I couldn't control walking past the blinds and looking and peering, and I didn't do that before. I eventually got put on meds to help me navigate through that.
This was not the first fire. EMR scrap metal facilities in Camden have caught fire over a dozen times since 2020. Christina Allen was pregnant during one of these fires a few years ago.
I definitely lose sleep, yes. I feel like they've definitely probably had an effect on my son's health as far as his breathing. Like I said, I have to give him an allergy pill like every day.
Air quality experts said these fires likely release tiny particles and toxic heavy metals and possibly cancer-causing air pollutants.
You could start by looking at the respiratory effects, thinking asthma, COPD, the respiratory effects of a trigger, like a fire and all that smoke and all the pollutants and whatnot. If you mix into that the anxiety of the event, the PTSD of prior fires in this case, or even all of that stress, now you start to see how this sort of balloons and really ends up resulting in just a lot of other complications.
After the big fire in 2025, the city of Camden negotiated an agreement with EMR. The company committed to build a new sprinkler system that would be automatically triggered by heat.
I think it's a joke, a sprinkler system. You mean to tell me through all these years and all these fires, you ain't think that should be a necessity then? You would not think a sprinkler? That's something to pacify us, let me be honest.
CEO Joe Balzano gave us a tour of the EMR facility and showed us the new system.
We've talked with residents who have basically characterized EMR as a bad neighbor, with the fires being like the chief complaint, but not exhaustive. I guess what's your response to that?
I agree. I feel that we let them down.
Balzano says the fires are sparked by damaged lithium-ion batteries found in cars, power tools, scooters, even light fixtures.
I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for not being able to see what was coming. Batteries are new to us. I didn't realize how combustible that they are.
They heat on their own, they self-ignite, and then they create almost like looks like a blowtorch. They'll catch everything else on fire around it pretty quickly.
As part of the agreement with the city, EMR promised to ramp up inspections to filter out these batteries.
So the fire safety side of things, with these changes, do you feel confident that they will prevent any fires in the future?
I think they'll allow us to dramatically control anything that could happen, so we wouldn't have the issues that we've had. I don't believe it will ever stop one from starting, just because of the nature of post-consumer goods.
A few blocks from where EMR shreds up to hundreds of tons of scrap metal each hour, everything from junk cars to old appliances and building materials, is the heart of Camden's Waterfront South neighborhood. There's a park, an elementary school, hundreds of homes, and a community garden. It's run by an environmental justice nonprofit that's filed a lawsuit against EMR.
Recycling scrap metal is an important processing of waste that everyone in our society contributes to across the state. So everyone is benefiting from the scrap metal industry doing what they do, but it's only certain communities that have to deal with those burdens of having them located in their communities. We'd really like to see that their facility is enclosed and that all of their activities, the shredding, the dismantling, and processing that they do, that it happens within a structure that does not release anything into the surrounding atmosphere and into the neighborhoods.
Where's my trowel? Right here. I'm using it.
It's not right. It's not fair. No, I'm not Aaron Brockovich, but my life matters.
2 weeks after our tour, another blaze broke out. State, county, and city elected officials called for EMR to be shut down.
I stand by my decision on permanently shutting them down. In fact, tomorrow, I'm 99% sure this part of the meeting I was at just now if I came here that we're going to revoke their license.
A lot of trust has been lost over the time that something hasn't been done. And it is a hard thing to hear. There are meetings happening privately to which none of us are involved, and something magically good will come out of them.
We're coming to you, pleading to you, driving up north because we're not being heard by you, so now we gotta go to the Attorney General ourselves. Like, that's my real life, that's my real gas, that's me on the road.
EMR's workers, some who live in Camden, rallied behind the company to save their jobs.
Save EMR! Save EMR! Save EMR!
Majority of us here today is second chance convicted felons. And EMR gave us a chance to society with a career for us to make an earnest living for our families and ourselves.
The city of Camden ordered EMR to stop operating its scrap metal shredder and suspended the site's license. The suspension will be reevaluated later this summer. EMR USA CEO Joe Balzano told the mayor that being a good neighbor and operating safely is a priority for the company. He says EMR values its place in Camden and wants to work with the city on a resolution. But residents, they say they've had enough of the fires.
It makes me very angry still to this day, and I think that's why I pushed EMR not being here so much. And I just wanted to be brought to everyone's attention of the things that we're struggling with since 2020.